let's get ready to take a look at McLaren's latest F1 challenger. This is the McLaren MCL60.
It's going to be 75% carbon, you better believe it. Cheeky intro video, love that. It's a go-kart. Oh, I didn't even see it coming. It's a bloody go-kart, guys.
Something I really think about.
Just before we watch this, what if McLaren had a sponsorship with Ginsters and they had some sort of brand deal going on where for one weekend Oscar changed his name to Oscar Pasty? Just food for thought, that's all. Just food for thought. Food for thought. Food for... Forget about it. It's okay. Oh, you better believe it's black. There's a lot of black. A lot of exposed carbon. You can see it already. In fact, it doesn't look very dissimilar straight away from last year's. Not that that's surprising. I didn't expect it to be. Yeah, I mean, livery-wise... Oh, that is very aggressive side pods. Very aggressive. I mean, it's got a decent amount of color on there. Yeah, but last year's car was very black. That is a lot. Hold on. That is a lot of carbon. That is a lot of... Let me just rewind a little bit. That is a lot of carbon. Bloody hell. Here's the thing, though. McLaren can kind of get away with this because last year's car was predominantly black in that area. They haven't actually changed their livery all that much. In their defense, last year's car was already black in that area. What interests me more is the side pods. The side pod and the sort of engine cover is very, very aggressive. That is really aggressive undercut there. Like here, where the number 60 is, that is really, really aggressive. I'm not noticing the T camera on the top, but like every other team, they've had to level off the top of the airbox. Airbox actually looks quite interesting. Side pods that come quite far forward for cooling, which is something we've seen quite a lot of on other cars. Like, you can see it from this angle. Now the lights are on. Look at this undercut here, where the suspension goes in. That is insane. Does that not look really good to you? Well, I say good. We don't know if it's quick, but, you know.
Of course.
I like it. Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, it's so much carbon fiber. But like I was saying, I'll show you a picture in a minute. Last year's car had tons of black on it in the same spot. It's not a new design that they've done there. I don't think that looks bad. I don't know. I don't think that looks bad. I'm not saying I would have all that black if I chose it, but I don't think it looks bad. I mean, I think the thing here is this really... I can't wait to see like Craig Scarborough or someone like that talk about this. Maybe I'm just over-egging it, but it looks like there's... obviously, the side pods are really aggressive, but it looks like there's a real sort of undercut here as well. It looks really impressive. I can't wait to see someone who's more tech-minded. You see, like, this image here. Like, they started having a lot of black on the car last year. You see how much this has evolved. Was this their update? I think it was. But anyway, if you look at the... if you look at the undercut here, and the slope on the side pods and compare it to the new car, ooh, they have spent a lot of time sculpting that particular area, especially in and around the engine cover. I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't mean it's going to be quick, does it? It doesn't mean it's going to be quick, but it looks mean.
Executive Chairman of Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant Formula One team, Lawrence Stroll.
Can we start a petition to stop these ridiculously long Formula One team names? It's insane. Aston Martin, Cognizant, Peroni, Formula One team of Aramco. Like,
first of all, how's your winter?
And when I get excited about something, I get very passionate. And when I get very passionate, I win.
This is good to hear. This is good to hear. Also, though, your history with motor...
Are we still talking about racing, first of all? Second of all, they don't win. So something's gone wrong. He was very, almost scary how passionate he was, in fact.
I'd like to welcome to the stage
that was
our
awkward.
next guest. Please welcome Team Principal, Mike Crack.
It'll never not get funny. It'll
Welcome, Mike.
It'll never not. You can't say Mike Crack and it not be funny. Come on.
Track and at the factory,
what the smog?
who make it possible for the team to go racing around the world.
Hello,
who poured
Rachel.
Their hard work and their energy.
Rachel, are you in there?
AMR
You're in the
23.
smoke. Oh, there it goes. It's predominantly green. It's predominantly green. They haven't gone all out carbon, which I really like. To be honest, the livery is exactly the same as last year's. It's not very different at all, is it? See, the gill is up here, look. The gill has changed position because they've sculpted in the side pods a lot more. The side pod's actually a lot squarer. A lot of cars now this year, and last year as well, have this bulbous engine cover that actually almost is like a shelf. And the gill is all the way up here. That's where their cooling is. All of the cars have to have this flatter airbox now as a result of I think it was it Joe Guan Yu's crash at Silverstone where his roll hoop really dug into the gravel. So there is a lot of changes on the car. I think what you'll find with a lot of teams though, even though the cars might look similar, the floor is where they're getting most of their downforce, and that's what will be different. It's the areas we can't see. If we look at the front of the side pod here, the way it's sculpted, and where the actual fin is, if you look at that, and look at the engine cover here, and then look at the new one, you see how different that actually is? When you first look at the car and it's revealed, you're like, oh, does it look the same? But it really isn't, because the entirety of this design is so different. You see that the, I guess it would be the gearbox casing in and around here, and the engine cooling radiators. You could see where the cooling gill is here compared to where it was. And the whole engine cover is just completely different now. And the actual side pod itself is a lot squarer and a lot more tapered compared to last year. And look how much thinner the entry is. The other thing to consider is the front wing. Like, they had quite a unique front wing, Aston Martin, didn't they? It was quite high up compared to other teams. And it seems like they've gone for something a little bit more like Ferrari's front wing. So maybe a slight change in concept. Ferrari's front wing, it made contact with the bottom element of the wing. And it actually sat relatively low, whereas Aston Martin's last year made contact with the second flap of the front wing, and it actually sat really high. You could see the curvature. A lot different. Is this area in here black? Oh my god, that is full Ferrari, that is. We couldn't get to see that. Yeah, okay. They've gone full Ferrari inside here. We didn't actually get to look at that. From this angle, you can't really see it. You can always rely on scarbs. Here. Oh, look at that. Look at that bad boy. That is crazy. Look at the curvature of that. That is some serious packaging, that is. That is some serious packaging. I like it. I like it. I think it's nice. There's not an overbearing amount of carbon, which is really nice to see. It also must mean that they feel confident on the weight limit, that they didn't have to go over the top with carbon, which is also good. The livery's nothing like to write home about, is it? There's not really a mad design. It's basically green with a yellow stripe, but it still looks nice.